I was talking to my team today about listing property. We had our Listing Legends training, which happens every Wednesday at 9 a.m. And as we were going through the course material for today, I was reminded of a certain coach's discussion around building trust in a relationship with the client. And what I've found over the years is the reason agents don't succeed in real estate a lot of times has to do with the fact that they're never really fully able to earn the trust of their clients or of the people that they're working with, and henceforth their client relationship dissolves. And so whether that be on the buy side or the sell side, on the sell side it's a little bit more difficult to lose a client, at least right away, because of the contract. But a lot of times agents are operating without contracts on the buy side, and therefore have to continually re-enroll the client and continually on a daily basis earn their trust. And so this got me to thinking, I know that you watching right now, your business might be awesome, and like that's great for you, that's awesome. But some of you are presumably starting the year off a little bit rocky. And so my suggestion to you is going to be a little bit, let's say, radical. Bottom line is this, is that in order to earn more trust with your client, I'm going to give you 3 very practical tips, strategies that you can use to earn more trust with your clients to help you in either the buy side or the list side. The very first thing is setting expectations up at the beginning. You see, any good relationship, business relationship or personal relationship, the expectations conversation should be had up front, not midway through, but at the beginning. Want to know why most agents lose listings? Because they don't set proper expectations up at the beginning. You want to know why most buyers agents lose their buyers? It's because they don't set up proper expectations at the beginning. Now, here's an example of that on the list side and the buy side. So on the list side, you explain to them that there's 2 reasons a home doesn't sell: it's marketing or price. You then go through your entire marketing presentation, and at the end of that, you should get their approval that is the best marketing that they've seen, and that's why they're going to sign with you, right? So then at that point, should you come into a situation where your listing is not selling after 30, 45 days, 60 days, and you have executed on the marketing that you presented to them, then they know it's not the marketing, it's not you, it's the price. Why do most agents not go there? One of 2 reasons. Number 1, they don't know any better. Number 2, they actually don't do the shit that they say they're going to do. If that's the case, you're a liar. Get out of this business. But herein is the issue with what I just said. If you do not currently do that, and you're in a situation where you don't set up those expectations at the beginning, you need to create a pattern of consistently updating your client to show them that the shit is being done. And here's where we come into suggestion number 2, or the second way in which you can earn trust with your clients, is communication. Number 1, you have to earn their trust by setting expectations up at the beginning, and number 2, you have to communicate. You have to let them know that you're doing the shit that you promised that you're going to be doing. Re-enrolling them. Once, letting them know at the beginning, hey, this is what we're going to do, is not enough. You have to continually go out of your way to show them, hey, we're doing the shit that we promised. On the buy side, this is a little bit different, but actually the same in a lot of ways. I know every agent that's watching this video right now is guilty of this. They met with the buyer, they had a freaking awesome consultation, they set them up on a home search, and they didn't check in with the buyer for like the next month because the buyer didn't say anything. They didn't raise their hand and say, hey, I want to go see 123 Main Street. They just assumed that the automation was going to do the work for them. The automation makes it so that you don't have to send them listings one by one, but you still have to communicate with the client. And by the way, like, our team runs a totally different buy-side strategy in which we're continually what we call close the loop. We continually close the loop. Shout outs to Isaac Guzman. That's all you, brother. So we don't even run into that problem anymore. But the truth is that so many agents are running into that problem because they don't take the time to communicate with the people that they've already met with, that already kind of have a little bit of trust in them. But it's not enough. It's not enough. You have to continually re-enroll them. You have to continually earn their trust day in and day out. Where most agents get confused at this point in time on the buy side is they feel like their communication is pushy. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to. I don't want to rock the boat, dude. Put your big boy pants. Put your big girl pants on. Go out there and talk to them, because the truth is they don't see it as bothering. Let me let you in on a little secret. They want to buy a $2, $3, $4 million house, $1 million house. This person wants to buy that. If they come to you and they raise their hand and they're like, hey, so-and-so, I want to buy a house with you. And you take them through your whole presentation. You're doing all the things that you're supposed to do. And then you stop communicating them with them for 2 weeks. Let me flip the script on you here for a second. Let's say that you go on a date with somebody and then you don't hear from them again for 3 weeks after that. Could you assume that they're no longer interested in dating you? I would. It's the same thing. Pick up the phone, call them, let them know that you're thinking about them, and let them know that you found them this great off-market property. It's just down the street from the house that they just lost out on with their other agent, but you got the early access to it. That's communication. And by the way, it doesn't even need to be that valuable. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. That's number 2. Setting expectations up at the beginning. Communication is number 2. And finally, along with communication is one that it's almost like a 2B. It's communication on steroids. It's transparency, candor. You want to know how to earn somebody's trust? Don't sugarcoat shit. Transparency is very difficult to do in this industry, because sometimes it's difficult to tell people shit that they don't want to hear. Well, guess what? The agents that really fucking crush it are the ones who are confident. And confidence translates into being able to tell people shit that they don't want to hear. And while you're sitting there at home trying to figure out how you're going to tell Sally that, oh, this home, went out of her budget, or oh my gosh, we didn't get any offers on the listing, your inaction is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your lack of transparency is costing you hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars perhaps. Your lack of candor is costing you that money, because let's face it, guys, gals, you don't have the huevos to do it. And because of that, you're losing out on potential opportunities. People want to work with people who keep it real. side note, transparency. Transparency is actually, it can be very simple. Like, for example, a tool that we use that allows us to be fully transparent with our clients is an app called Showing Time. We use it. In fact, there's a lot of MLSs around the country that mandate it. But here in Silicon Valley, they don't make anybody use Showing Time. Our clients are on our listings, get to see in real time who's showing properties, so they get to see tomorrow we have 4 showings lined up on our house. Oh, and then by the way, the agents get to write feedback in real time, and that's awesome. So, costs me $45 a month, and it saves me countless hours of updating clients. It saves my ops team countless hours updating clients, and it also provides us with another way to show that our shit's working because people are seeing the home, or not working. What about that? Hey, Danny, I haven't seen Showing Time. I haven't seen anybody see the house in the last 2 weeks. Awesome. Well, whose fault is that? It's my fault. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's the market, and then we have to have another conversation. But that transparency allows us to have better communication. That transparency also fulfills the expectations being set up at the beginning. Or it fulfills a part of the communication that needs to be done to show that we're fulfilling and executing on the things that we talked about at the beginning. And that's it. That's it. Set expectations up at the beginning and do not waver on those expectations. Meaning, if you're going to set those expectations up and you're going to commit to doing something, don't be a bullshitter. Fucking do it. Set up expectations at the beginning, follow through on those commitments, communicate with the client, and lastly, be fully transparent and do not avoid the difficult conversations. That's it. You'll win their trust every time. This is it, everyone. This is Danny Gould, selling Silicon Valley. Stay legendary, everybody.